Okay, all right. Greetings, champions. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are connecting from. I welcome every single one of you to this session. And my name is Dr. Umar Ahmed, professionally trained a veterinary surgeon, graduated from the University of Abuja, and also one of the leaders and consultant for the C21FG project. I welcome you all. And for today, I'll be giving a brief, relatively summarized version of the essence of the C21FG project. All right. And I encourage every single one of you at the sound of my voice to pay careful attention so that you can get the full message without any form of assumption. This is a project that has not only transformed me as an individual, that has not only transformed my life, but has given me or put me in an opportunity or a position and capacity to also impact in lots of people, around my zone of influence and beyond. I'm talking about something that shifted me from a point of struggling to even make ends meet for my family after graduating from school, being a doctor, done everything I was supposed to do, thought I'll become very rich, but I got the shock of my life, still struggling to make ends meet with my family. But guess what? This was more like an answered prayer to all that predicament. Okay, so if you're listening to me, I mean, this is something that has shifted me from from struggling to make ends meet for my family to becoming successful financially. Not just becoming successful financially, but I think better off being able to help lots of people. So I want you to pay careful attention without assumption till the end of this so that you can get the full information. I'll go straight to sharing my screen to tell you exactly what the C21FG project is all about in a summarized, detailed summary. And so let's start from the basic things. First of all, to start with, who are we as an organization? Who are we as an organization? Our organization is CFG International, Century 21 Freedom Group International, and we're a non-governmental initiative with a system structure. And the essence of this system and structure is to provide support to our partners to enable them achieve our common goal. Our common goal is to see that anybody who becomes a partner with C21FG can attain financial freedom, time freedom, and health freedom. We are moving very cautiously and with intention. Our vision is to raise a group of financially free people who will in turn raise other people to become financially free so that this group of people who have built capacities can put their resources together and affect the world positively. Our immediate mission is to see that we raise up to 50,000 people who are monthly millionaire earners in the connected economy so that we can usher in the next generation of world changers. You can see it's a powerful one. And I want you to pay careful attention. This is even more important than any other time, given the current economy, the global economy, the economy of the world today, more specifically, even that of Nigeria. All right. And of course, the inflation rate globally has been very, very obviously high for the grassroots man. They can understand it from the idea, from the being able to, they're able to understand it from the perspective of, the price change, the price fluctuations, and the hike in prices of commodities. Nigerian is borrowing to make ends meet. The government is complaining they can't pay salaries. They need to cut down salaries, the strikes here and there for our educational system. And the government is even borrowing from the pension fund, and people are working because of pension, and this pension is being borrowed, which tells us not just the fact that things are difficult now, but it's giving us a red line for the future. And of course, for so many persons, the hope for them is to send their children to school, get a good degree, and eventually get a good job like my father wanted for me, right? But that hope has been shattered and it has been made clear, of course, given the current economy, and even when the president, at some point in time came out and made it clear, that the jobs are not there, that the vacancies are, in fact, I think it's good we hear directly from the horse's mouth. I want you to listen to this so that we can.
And very importantly, let us speak to the youth.
It's very important. Let us speak to the young ones, right?
That the federal government has no more vacancy. Virtually every department is filled. The same thing in the states, the same thing in local governments. So you can have a good degree from a good university, and you will never get a job.
I think that sounds very clear, that getting a good degree from the best university does not guarantee that a person can become gainfully employed. And it's an absolute reality and a bitter pill which we have to swallow. And these are some of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing, because we discovered from deep research from our organization that the world economy has changed, and that's the major problem. And many people are not aware. I want you to pay very careful attention so that we can appreciate and understand this better. Just like Alvin Toffler said, he said that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Today, we have a lot of people who are graduated from school, and yet, based on the understanding, the level of understanding they have, they are more at disadvantage. And guess what? They are superbly at disadvantage. So unfortunate. A lot of people want to become wealthy, but the approach to it is so unfortunate. This is what we discover as an organization. No wonder Robert Kiyosaki said, just like you can see on the screen, he said that the real reason why lots of people struggle financially is because they learn to work hard for their money. Hard work is indispensable for success, but hard work alone is not what makes you successful. You must learn how to work smart. So people work hard, but the problem is without understanding the principles behind wealth creation and season and time. And that's the essence of this record. And it will interest you to know that these are things. It means therefore wealth creation is by understanding. And I want to tell you this, there are two levels of understanding that makes wealth creation relatively easier. And when I caught this information, after graduating, I was struggling, but when I caught this information, it made all the difference for me. I've seen people who go through life struggling. They are working very hard, but the problem is these two levels of understanding would have made all the difference. People work for 35 years, 50 years, and nothing to show for it. But if they could just understand these two levels of understanding, and guess what? They could grab these two levels of understanding, they could shorten that 35, 40 years of hard work to becoming just what? Just a year, 2, 3, or 5. And that's where understanding becomes very important. Number one is understanding the principles behind wealth creation, and number two is understanding season and time. It's so unfortunate to let you know that many a time these things are not taught even in what? In school. All right, no wonder a lot of people who graduate from school stand no chance to be wealthy until they understand the game of wealth. Starting with the principle of wealth creation as the first level of understanding, Robert Kiyosaki mentioned 4 principles behind wealth creation. He said, for anybody to become wealthy, you must be smart and well-informed in making decisions. Number 2, you must learn how to cut down unnecessary liabilities. Then you must learn how to build up assets that can pay for those liabilities. Amazing asset that can pay for your liabilities. Liability is anything that takes away money from you. Asset is anything that brings money to you, especially things that can bring you money, even when you're when you're relaxed and not doing the active work, right? But the core principle of wealth creation, and the most important one, which differentiates the rich from the poor, is the principle of leverage, leveraging through a system. All right. If you don't understand leverage, then you will have to work very hard. That's the ample truth. And what is leverage? Leverage is the capacity to be able to generate income, have a system. Generate income from people, whether you know them or not. And the most effective way to leverage is by having a system. In the cash flow quadrant, as designed by Robert Kiyosaki, I want us to appreciate this so that we can understand the concept of leverage. There are 4 ways to produce income. You can produce income as an employee, gainfully employed in a setting, whether with the government or private, or you are self-employed, where you have your own skill or little shop where you generate income from. Now, these are ways to produce income, but the challenge with those ways is you hardly build wealth. I'm not talking about making money. You can make money, but you don't build wealth. Why? Because those income are linear. Linear in the sense that you only make money when you work hard. When you work on that job, you make money. When you work on that skill, you make money. But if you don't work, you don't earn. So what happens when you are sick or when you are not able to work or when you are fired? So it means the income stops. All right. So the linear income, that's the left side of the cash flow quadrant. And that's the reason why. And that's where you find more than 95% of the population of the world. But unfortunately, no wonder that many of them are not wealthy. If a person wants to become wealthy, you need to start looking at the right side of the cash flow quadrant, which is either the business owner and the investor. Now, many people, the thin line difference between the business owner and the self-employed is in the fact that the self-employed have to do all the work for him to earn, but the business owner enjoys the power of leverage because he has a group of people, all right, who works with or for him. So the idea behind it, Robert Kiyosaki defines it that if you have a system in place that have the capacity for 500 people working at various capacity, then it means you're a real business owner. All right. Some of my mentors will define that you're in real business. The game of wealth starts from you when you're able to scale up a business. So scale up your business to start making up to $10,000 in a month. That should be approximately over, 5 million or thereabout, plus or minus monthly. So what are we talking about here? If a person wants to become wealthy, you need to understand the concept of leverage. All right. An example is like Mike Adenuga. All right. Imagine as a doctor, when I was working, I had to work very hard before I can earn. But for Mike Adenuga, who owns Glow, he has scaled that business up to a level where a lot of people can recharge and he can make a lot of money. That cannot be compared to me working on a job or just as an individual. So that's the concept. All right. Now, when you scale this up and you make a lot of money, then you can channel it to the I quadrant where your money works for you. But the mistake a lot of people make, please pay careful attention in the game of wealth building, is some people want to jump the gun from becoming an employee or self-employed. They want to run into the I quadrant. They want to run into investment. And that's why they fall in lots of Ponzi schemes and they fall in lots of what? Schemes where they put in money because they just want the concept of my money working for me. Your money will only work for you when you have so much or a stupendous amount of it. When you have a lot of it, then you can actually channel into the I quadrant. Okay. So don't try to jump the gun. Follow the principle. Now, that's the first level of wealth creation, the first level of understanding that makes wealth creation easy. And then the second principle is understanding season and time. In season and time, what we understood as an organization is that technology is taking the place. Most of the areas where human beings are supposed to be relevant, technology has actually replacing human beings in those capacities. And this is creating lots of loss of jobs. The jobs are no longer there. And guess what? Back in the days, you see, people with understanding, once in every decade, new things come along, a new revolution comes into the world, but people with the understanding of this revolution are the people that becomes successful. When people fail to update, they become outdated. Now, what is happening today is, you see, back in the days, it's so easy. A person goes to school. When you look at the revolution, these are the various world revolutions. Back in the agriculture, it was farming. In the Industrial Revolution, the educational system kicked up to trainers and compliant workers that will work in these factories and industries. And initially, it was very lucrative, right? But guess what? That is how we move from the Industrial Revolution to the Computer Revolution and the Internet Revolution down to the Information Age. But what did we observe in this dispensation? What we're observing now is when a graduate graduated from school many years back, it's so easy to secure a job because the jobs were there. In fact, the graduates were being begged to work. But today, is that the case? You will agree with me that that's no for an answer. People are graduated from school today and no job. Why? Because most of those areas where they're supposed to be relevant, technology is taking the place. I want you to take a look at this short video. You can see at various capacities how the job of human beings are being lost. This is a factory, for example, where human beings would have worked, but these machineries now can do the work. And this is exactly what is happening. When you look at it from various capacities, it's telling greatly. All right. Today we have high-power tractors that don't even need operators. Even a tractor itself replaces lots of human capacity and does the work more efficiently. This is exactly what is happening all over the world at various fields. This is a milk factory where you are supposed to have human beings working and milking the cattle. Guess what? This work can be effectively done without the input of human beings. This is a building machine. Somebody says, I'm a civil engineer, I'm a builder, I'm a mason, I'm a bricklayer. You see, no human being builds the house in less than 24 hours. Here's a 3D printed house within 24 hours. Comes your what? Non-human capacity variable, right? And that is it. So this is happening across various fields. In the field of medicine, we have the likes of Tricoder X that make diagnosis easier. So which definitely reduces the need for even the number of doctors that would have manned or work in a particular medical setting. The same thing with the likes of IBM Watson and many other technologies taking the place in banking, in automobiles. Today we have cars that can power themselves. All these things are the reasons why times are changing. Of course, times are changing and these things are coming up and lots of human capacities are less needed, right? And that is it. This is one of its kind that was tested in Nigeria, an automobile which can move without a driver. Time will fail me to talk about this because I want to make this brief, but follow me carefully, champions. Follow me carefully, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, at the moment, now we've moved through this revolution from agriculture to industrial, computer, internet, and information revolution. In the 21st century, within the first decade, the world ushered in a new revolution called the connected revolution. And what we discover is that the wealthiest people in the world today are people who have positioned in the connected revolution. They are not people with the best of degrees. They are not people with the best of certificates from the whatever university, prestigious universities, but they are people who have positioned and updated to the latest revolution, which is the connected revolution. All right, the next 10 to 15 years from now is projected to be the artificial intelligence revolution. Change is constant and will continue to happen. And guess what? The connected revolution is a revolution of infinite possibilities and is the latest revolution for a common man to still become very, very wealthy. And that's why you have lots of people who are wealthy today, even without the prestigious degrees and from various universities. We have the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, who is a connector. These people pride themselves as connectors. They connect to one or more forms of value. They understand the value chain. Mark Zuckerberg is a connector who founded Facebook at a young age. And what does he do? Today he's a billionaire, one of the wealthiest men in the world, connecting people to people through Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, name it. And guess what? Billions of dollars have followed him even before the corona pandemic. And you cannot compare Mark Zuckerberg with our very own wealthiest man in the world, the wealthiest black man in the world in Africa from Nigeria, the Dangote, right? Why? Because they operate on two different revolutions. Despite the fact that Dangote is already wealthy before Mark Zuckerberg was born, but the idea behind it is the connected economy is superb. It's so powerful and so fast, right? That is it. In the field of transportation, we have the like of Travis Kalanick, the owner of one of the most prosperous taxi companies, transportation companies without a single taxi, right? What does he do? Founded a system called Uber. Understand it. They have value systems. A system called Uber, which you can use to connect what drivers to passengers. And guess what? And he gets percentage from it. He gets a share from it. He doesn't buy the vehicle. He doesn't have to worry about how the vehicle is repaired or fuel or maintained. That's not his headache. But as long as a passenger connects through Uber, he makes his money. It is the same transportation business, but massively more successful than somebody like Frank Ineji who owns ABC Transportation, right? ABC Transport have been existing for several decades, but Uber is just very recent. Now, this is the same transportation business. One person's net worth is counting in millions and the other is counting in billions, even though Uber just started recently, right? Now, what is the difference? The difference here is the fact that one is operating in the connected economy, all right, which is the latest economy, and the other is operating industrially, all right, which is even more expensive to run. And this is exactly what we discover. There are lots of examples like Jumia. We have the likes of some of the wealthiest men in the world, like Jeff Bezos, who founded Amazon, connecting people to value, one or more forms of value they need. And these are connectors. These are the people controlling the finances of the world today. Elon Musk acquired Twitter, all right, for billions of dollars. And Twitter is in the connected economy. Of course, this is one man who is doing something great in the artificial intelligence revolution. No wonder he's one of the wealthiest men in the world, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the billionaires of the world are connectors without any doubt. And this is from careful research of our organizations. We discover that they have value systems, and this is the essence of what we're doing. All right. So we understand. I want you to pay careful attention to understand the fact that, look, when it comes to creating wealth, there are two most success approaches that can really give you ultimate success. There are several approaches, but two ways can actually give you success. Number one is to build a system from the scratch. All right. All wealthy people have systems because systems are the most effective way to leverage, just like I gave example, ab initio or prior, right? So building a system from the scratch is one amazing thing. Like I mentioned, Mike Adenuga, who built Globalcom from the scratch. Elon Musk, name it, built Tesla and so many other amazing things. These are amazing systems. Mark Zuckerberg. Now, the only problem with building systems from the scratch for many people is the capital. All right. Now, if a person is not able to build system from the scratch, the second option is to plug into systems that are already existing so that you can still leverage. All right. The beauty about plugging in is that it is cheaper than building. All right. And maintenance and all those things, the cost expenses in building is more compared to plugging in. But when it comes to plugging into most of the system, we discover as an organization that plugging into system, yes, can be cheaper than building, but most of the systems where people would have loved to plug in are not readily available because not everybody has the capacity to even afford the money which it requires to plug in to certain systems. An example is somebody like Obasanjo who plugged into MTN, and anytime you recharge based on that agreement, then he makes 1 naira. But if you want to be one of the people who determine whatever happens in MTN to that level of partnership, how much would you need? That's the question. You will agree with me. You need still a huge amount of money, even though it's relatively cheaper than building the company, but you still need lots of several millions, maybe running into a couple of few hundreds of millions of naira to plug in to such amazing systems, right? So the question is this, let's tell ourselves the truth. How many people in the world, especially in Nigeria, can afford 30 million, 50 million, 100 million to plug into systems? All right, this is why organization is coming in, all right, to teach people how they can become connectors, all right, and at the same time plug into amazing system, because we understand that if a person refuses to build a system from the scratch or plug into system, many times the only option left is to work for people as employees who have these systems, all right? And in that case, you don't have a chance to build wealth. Wealth is built from building systems or plugging in, all right? So the question arises, how do you become a connector with our organization, Remember, we come in at the level where people can plug in. We've been able to buy in a partnership where people can plug in for a relatively minimal amount, for as low as less than 50,000 naira. A person can plug into a system and become a connector, become a partner with amazing entities, that produces most of the consumables we use on a daily basis, right? And this is how amazing the system works. How do you become a connector? This is what we simply say: plug into our system by making a one-off purchase. These are daily things you use, and these are constant liabilities we always incur. But the beautiful thing now is this: you are making a shopping for yourself. Take note, for your personal use, health beneficial products. Once you make this purchase from this company, all right, the only difference now is because you are purchasing up to that level of a minimum of 50,000 naira, 49,990 naira, less than 50,000 naira, that makes you automatically a partner, which now makes you part and parcel of the system and gives you the opportunity to generate income. All right, that's the minimum, and up to a maximum of $1 million naira, which means there are different entry points. You can come in at various levels. The 49,990 is for students, all right, and guess what? Of course, for students and for low income earners, but there are other amazing packages, just like you can see on the screen. It means any amount you are paying in, you're actually using it to buy products which you will use for yourself, which you consume for yourself. And guess what? The product ranges from what? From personal care products, daily consumables like toothpaste, tea, all right? These are things we use normally, but the difference this time is that you are now going to be generating income because you are plugged into the system, all right? The likes of My Choco, which replaces your Bonvita and your Milo and other tea you take, all right? The First Order Alkaline Coffee, other health beneficial products like Vida Max for high blood pressure, Bone Slim for people, a fitness product for people who want to cut down their weight, all right? And other amazing product, just like you can see their functions amazingly, that takes and keep people away from debilitating illnesses and age-related illnesses, right? All these things are there, not just for adults, but also for children, including wearable technologies. Like you can see some amazing notable individuals like Mike and the rest of them putting this energy pendant on. All these are the things you are purchasing with your money. The idea behind it is these are unique products, life-changing and transforming products from these companies. But the idea behind it is once you make a one-time shopping, and you don't need to shop continuously, just a one-time shopping automatically makes you a connector with a tracking center and gives you business possibilities. All right. And the beauty of it is this, just for emphasis, you don't need to street hawk or sell those products before you start generating income from the system. All you need to understand, to do is to position yourself as a connector using simple tools and systems, all right, that helps you effect, amazing business possibilities, right? As a connector, your business is open in several countries of the world. Now, the question is, how do you build this successfully? How do you start generating income, or how do you start connecting to people without necessarily having to convince them or market or street hawk products? How do you start doing that? It's simple. Like I said, the first thing, please understand this. We don't run a marketing organization where you have to take product and market and sell. No, what we do is a capacity building process. So that's the reason why once you become a connector with the organization, the first thing first is to attend a training called the Quick Starter Guide training to help you understand the system, and eventually you use the system. The system saves you the stress, time, and energy and the resources which people will need to start going up and down to convince people or street hawk product. You don't need all that. All right. Simple tools like what? An example is contact recommendation. These simple tools are here giving the opportunity for your people on a third-party basis to see exactly just what you're seeing at the moment. Tools like the video you're watching currently, you're watching this video, and through this video, you can share this video with your friend and he gets the explanation, and then he can make a decision to become part of the business. Another example is contact recommendation, where you can make a compilation of contact and submit to the organization. All right, a team of consultants sit with you, guide you through the process. All right, customize the message you can send to notify them that you've submitted their number, and then they are invited. Appointments are made either virtually or physically, all right, where they can get the information. So the idea is the system actually is centered, upon taking the burden of what you doing the talking and convincing, and giving room for professionals and consultants to step on your behalf and help you build your business. And that's the amazing thing about these tools, right? And you generate income in several ways. About 5 different ways you make money, as a connector. All right. These are different ways you can generate income as a connector, but 2 fundamental ones are direct connector bonus and matching bonus, which I'll be explaining for this session. All right. As you grow in to becoming a connector, you can learn others eventually. All right. So the first way is called the direct connector bonus. Now follow me carefully. In direct connector bonus, is simple. The company pays you from a minimum range of 5,000 naira up to a maximum range of 150,000 naira for any person who gets value from the company's product from any of the startup kit or startup packages, right? For instance, if a person connects with the student pack, like I mentioned earlier, the student pack, which is just for less than 50,000, you get a direct connector bonus of 5,000 naira, right? But if the person is connecting with the entry verse, you're making, which is 79.90, but you that connected the person, all right, or recommended the person, you are making 20,000 naira instantly, okay, for a single person per person, instantly, one off. But guess what? Imagine connecting up to 50 persons on this ground. That's 1 million naira, right? And guess what? Using simple tools, just like I've explained, and there are many other tools. If a person is connecting with the Technoverse, you're making 50,000 naira. If a person is connecting with the Digiverse flight pack, you're making a direct connector bonus of 100,000. But if a person is connecting with a Megaverse jet pack, which is the maximum, then you make instantly 150,000 naira. These are whopping income, which students, not even working class students, have learned these simple tools to connect people of high class and people of various capacities. And guess what? They're doing several hundreds of thousands of naira from these monthly. And trust me, 150,000 naira from connecting a single person is just amazing, right? And this is what a lot of people work for, even a salary monthly. But guess what? Just connecting a single person can earn you that from this business, all right? But this is one amazing way to earn. But there's a more powerful way to earn and a better way to earn than just the direct connector bonus, all right, which gives you the power of leverage. That is called the matching bonus. The beauty of the matching bonus is you can actually sustain this. The business is transferable. You can make a lot of money even while you are sleeping, while you don't have to do the active work anymore, because the initial work has been done and is well established. But the beauty of this is transferable even to generations unborn. All right, that is it. And how does the matching bonus operate? Put yourself in a picture. Once you become a connector, that's you there. You are divided. You have two business portfolio, the left business portfolio and the right business portfolio. And these two portfolios, what we do is this. Remember, the first thing is to attend training where we guide you through the basics. All right. This training can last just between, in fact, the quick starter guide training is just, a couple of just about 90 minutes or thereabout, or you can attend it in any of the offices close to you. Once you get the basic training, guess what? Your business portfolio is open, and of course, learning is continuous. But the idea behind this is the team of consultants sit with you to what? To kickstart your business portfolio. In this case, Ada and Bola, connecting the first two persons in your business. Once these are connected, you make your direct connector bonus, just as explained earlier. But the beauty is this: you are paid a pairing bonus, a matching bonus of extra 7,000 naira. It means, let's say you've made 20,000, but you're making extra 7,000 as the direct connector bonus. Now, the beauty of this, in a simple schematic, anything that happens from your left or right business portfolio to no limit, to no level, to no limitation, guess what? You can continue to earn this 7,000. For instance, if Ada uses the system, she attends that training, connects to Chidi and Dan, she makes her money. Bola uses the system, she makes her money. But at this time, the system is detecting 2 connections on your left and 2 on your right in person of Chidi, Dan, and Fanny. You didn't connect them, all right? You only connected Ada and Bola, but the system will still pay you a pairing bonus because these are 2 pairs of 7,000, 7,000 again. And this is how beautiful it is. Each of these persons are in business for themselves. As they build their own individual businesses, you are earning these pairing bonuses in numerous amounts. Take, for instance, you have 4 connections on the left now and 4 on the right. The company pays you 4 pairing bonus of 7,000 naira each. This is how the matching bonus grows in a geometric fashion. It is huge. The maximum the company pays in any given 24 hours is 252,000 naira. All right, which means you can scale this up to a level where you can start making on a maximum basis of 252,000 naira at maximum per account. All right, but guess what? We already have lots of people who are doing far above this, more than 252,000 naira. Why? Because you can decide to scale it up and have multiple accounts. You can start with triple pack instead of starting with 1 account. All right, the same business procedure, but the good news here is that you are opening yourself in 3 places. You are making, you stand a chance to make three times possibility of what a person with just 1 profit center will make. And if you want to make even income faster, just like I myself and numerous other people are doing in the organization, all right, and qualify for even all expenses paid vacation, you can go with the elite pack. The first 2 packages I just showed you are the regular pack. The elite packages are the 7 profit center. The 7 profit center, gives you room to what? To earn profit or to make money from 7 individual accounts. All right. That is it, which means you can scale this up to a level where you can do 7 times the possibility of what a person with one profit center can make. If you do this to maximum, guess what? At maximum level, you're talking about over 1.7 million naira daily, monthly, over 52 million naira monthly. This is huge, right? But let's assume you're not doing as much as this, but you're doing just 10% of what is possible. Then you're still talking about 10% of over 5.2 million naira as a possibility from the 7 profit center, which is amazing, right? And guess what? There are other bigger packages like the Digivers Flight Pack is an elite pack, all right, where you're starting with 500,000, but the daily income potential is bigger, which is over 3.7 million, and the monthly income potential for the Digivers is huge, even at 10%, even at 5%, all right? So understand that, of course, but the biggest you can do is the Megaverse Jetpack. I welcome anybody who would love to take the bold step to go for the Megaverse Jetpack. It is the best. It has a 31 profit head, and this is huge and amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a summary of the business plan, the business model of an entrepreneur project. And guess what? Some people wonder, how does the company get all this money to pay this huge amount? I mean, this huge amount of compensation. And how sure are we that this is sustainable? Indeed, it is, because there's a cap placed above it. That's one. Secondly, the company simply boycott all the middlemen activities as obtainable in traditional business settings, where you have to move from wholesaler to retailer to distributor, several chain of distributors, and simply have this product relate directly from those monies that should have been earned by distributors, various chains of distributors. Guess what? This is simply earned by you, the connector, as you relay the product, or the product is gotten to customer through you and through simple tools, right? So understand that. And these are some of our amazing partnerships as I round up. Our organization is in partnership with Nature's Way, DSM, and WIDA. These are global companies, world-leading nutraceuticals that have been around for several decades, all right? Please understand the fact that, of course, we have one of our amazing partners, our latest partner, which is the Ego Block, all right? The list of this partner, Nature's Way, is about 57 years old as at the time of shooting this video, all right? We have other banks like Eco Bank, Access Bank, Zenith Bank, Fidelity Bank are all partners. Empowered consumerism, ladies and gentlemen, also known as M Global, gives us access to all these amazing partnerships, all right? And I'm pleased to let you know the fact that we just launched out a new division through Ego Block, where our partners can have amazing opportunities to also own their home, sell homes for the company, and guess what? Can also not only own their own, but can also build amazing income for themselves with a similar business model, but this time through real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so pleased to let you know this. In fact, watch this video and see the launching so that you can appreciate, to tell you how sustainable what we're doing is. All right, this is it. This was the launching. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the huge part of our project.
As Nigeria's economy begins to stabilize and with its increasing demand for real estate,
this is huge.
Get your dream house! Let me say that the time has come for M Global Nigeria to enter a new and thriving market. Sell better homes! Our new real estate division is off to a promising future, and this with all the parts of the marketing plans of M Global Nigeria. Build residual income! Building affordable homes in a faster, more efficient ways.
Ladies and gentlemen, all right, and you too can be part of this. But our time will fail me to play that video completely. But guess what? You too can be part of this amazing division of our company. All right, if you take the bold step to start. But take note, this is not for everybody. It's only for those who have caught the vision of what we are doing. Okay, and we have lots of people. I'll just share a few testimonies just before I round up. And there's something huge at the end of this coming up. We are not trying to know. Please take note of this. We're not trying to tell or understand whether this is working or not. We are dealing with reputable companies that have been around for several decades. Imagine a company that is already existing in Nigeria for more than 10 years, all right, globally for more than 16 years. And we have other partnership companies that have been existing for over 50 years plus. So we're not trying to know whether this is working. We already have lots of millionaires and successful people, including my humble self, in the organization. So if you're seeing this, it's not to tell whether is it working or not. It is already working for thousands of people. Look at this video right on your screen. When we took an analysis of the people that are successful in the organization, look at the cars. There is no single, I want to say something, ladies and gentlemen. There is no single person here that is the child of an elite But guess what? Most of the people are people who built this from scratch, right? From scratch. And guess what? Through proper mentorship and guidance, they became massively successful, including my humble self. I'm part of this parade, right? You can see Mr. Macaroni there and many other celebrities who were part of this car parade. We have numerous several cars, right? And guess what? They did what it took and paid the price. And guess what? They became part of this project and they are massively successful today. Not a single person here, not a single person here, not a single person here is the child of an elite or is an elite. That is it. And guess what? This is how amazing the project is. Like I said, wow, this is huge. This is amazing. All right. Time will fail me to play all that. Now, like I said, we're not trying to know if this is working. When we took an analysis of the people, now these are some of the testimonies. When we took an analysis of the people who have been very successful with this, when we did our last Grass to Grace event, that was in 2022, right? In January, guess what? We took analysis of people. We started seeing people who built this from the scratch through proper mentorship and guidance, rose to become to fame and to massive wealth. This video, I think, explains better the amazing testimonies of people that are already massively successful. They are in thousands, ladies and gentlemen, in thousands. So if it can work for thousands of people, then it is not about whether is it working or not. All right, take a look at what we're talking about. This is, ladies and gentlemen, massive. This is a S9, right? Coming out from
Oya meno,
despite that,
ameno. Okay, I think we're hearing. Give me now your cool hearing. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay. Chevy Meka Tamua. Say my kina go join God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you don't want kitty, you don't want get a drink with the drop cup.
right?
Hey, so you see how the thing goes.
We're not trying to know where the thing goes or anything.
Oh, you're telling me who blends you.
Right?
And who? Alright, take it easy, take it easy and let's play some behind the way.
I'm also part of passport.
Okay.
That's what this is already working for thousands of people. This is a youth copper. A youth copper that started from the
Oh, yeah, man, amen.
Guess what?
I can't take care hearing. Give me now your cool hearing. Let me tell them how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Okay.
Educational background.
Chevy Meka Tamua. Say my killer go join God. You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, kitty, you the wrong. Get drink with the top cup. Let me see how the thing goes. Oh, yeah, tell them who blends.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is huge. All right. If I continue to go through that, I'm sure you see me too. You can see we just returned from Nairobi, Kenya. That's my humble self. This is the youth couple that started this business of Yanushi Porsche Kwando. These are some of our young millionaires. We took this picture in Kenya, in Nairobi. And guess what? It is so amazing. This is my mentor I talked about, who saw this business as a doctor, a medical doctor, all right, was managing his life, was just struggling to make ends meet. But building this business, he's massively successful today. And guess what? He's not only successful, he was the first person to purchase one of the first white cars, and that inspired every other person. For those of you that are wondering, why are we all buying white cars, right? And guess what? We have all these amazing testimonies to tell you that, look, we are not trying to know if this is working or not. It is already, success is already there. Lots of vacation opportunities. This is the person that mentored me personally. I remember when he did this amazing thing, he bought a car and a house for the mother. It was so touching. All right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, may God continue to bless this man. This is the man, guess what, whom God have used, right, to mentor me. And guess what? And mentor other people, like you can see when we took this picture outside the country, right? And this is my own bit of testimony just before I round up. I started this business some years back, about 4 years ago from now, as at the time of shooting this. When I saw this, in fact, it was an answered prayer for me, because by then my life was in shambles. Ladies and gentlemen, it was tough. Coming from a family, I had a big family. I was already building a family in school. But guess what? When I saw this business, I was struggling to make ends meet for my family, like I said at the beginning. But guess what? Doing this business, within a space of 3 to 4 months, I was already doing, my salary then as a doctor was just slightly over 100,000, 102,000 to be precise, before I left the job. And guess what? I was working in this amazing company, this agribusiness, Olam. But guess what? I could barely make ends meet for my family. 102,000 could only pay school fees for just 2 of my kids, and maybe, you know, buy some few food at home, but just a little amount of food at home. But guess what? I had lots of people I could not help. But through this business, when I started generating double of my salary within 3 months, I decided to quit my job and face it full time. Take note, you can build this on full time, you can build it part time, you can combine this with anything you're doing. And today I scaled it up, all right, from generating 200,000 monthly to over 741,000. That's the alert. I won't bug you with all these, but it would have taken me 7 months of hard labor as a doctor to make that salary. But guess what? I've scaled it up to $1 million, to 2 million naira monthly, to 3 million naira monthly, to 4 million, and up to 5 million. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? These are possibilities. I bought cars from this business. I built houses. All right. The first car I bought was, my Toyota Corolla. And guess what? Through this, I've also built it, scaled it up. I remember my wife loved this car so much, I decided to give her the car and then buy a GL 450. I think that's the car currently where I'm shooting this brief summary of our project. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It's an amazing project. Today I have all the time for my family, unlike before where I used to work very, very hard with little or nothing to show for it. And it's not about what this has done for me as an individual, but it's about how this has also put me in a position to help others. These are people, through this, God has touched their life through the same project under my mentorship, right? The likes of Mr. Ahmed, who built this. A teacher of 20,000 naira per month could not even afford to start, borrowed money to start the business, but has scaled this up through proper mentorship and guidance, to opening his own office, to traveling to several countries and entering into the millionaire cycle. Like you can see from the screen, some of my students there. I'm so glad. This is what gives me the real fulfillment, right? This was when his car, he bought his first car. This was when the car just arrived directly from Cotonou, right? And guess what? Before he even pimped the car up, right? Imagine a teacher with a salary of 20,000 naira per month. Where would he get money to buy such a car, right? Not him alone. There are others, the likes of Innocent. Look at him when he started the business, but today is also a millionaire. We have so many amazing people, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about what this can do for you as an individual, but it's about how this can help you touch other lives, all right? Impacting people, help the less privileged. And this is what we represent. We have other projects like the Feed the Family project, where we help the less privileged. We have the We Care project, where we pay hospital bills for, the less privileged in hospitals and feed the less privileged families. We do all these, all these are things we do. We've done for 5,000 families, up to 50,000 families, and we've scaled it up even up to 1 million families across Africa, not just in Nigeria, right? And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we represent. The question is, what do you stand to gain or what do you stand to lose? Absolutely nothing. This is not for everybody, but for people who are visionary and really want to see the need to help, not only become financially successful, but also go the extra mile to help other people, to teach people how they can fish for themselves instead of just giving them fish. That is if you're already successful. No wonder we have the likes of already successful elites in this business, the likes of the governor of Benue State. We have good backbones, people who understand our vision. And guess what? They are part and parcel of this amazing initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, as I round up, I want to let you know our vision. I want to remind you our vision. It's right on the screen. Our vision is to raise people to become financially free so that they can go ahead and raise other people to become financially free. All right. And this is the summary of the packages. We have the regular packages and we have the elite packages. All right. If you're one of those that have seen this and you love to be part of this amazing project, you love to be part of this amazing vision. All right. This is what I tell you. Congratulations and welcome on board. Super congratulations to you. You can start with any of the packages, either the elite package or the regular package. Whichever one you start with, we can work with you. But take note, when it comes to what is most important in this is mentorship. Unfortunately, my schedule doesn't permit me to mentor people so much nowadays because of how busy, and many other leaders too today. But because of the next project we're launching, because of the new division, we're working with people to qualify into the new real estate division. So because of this, we're trying to see how we can create time to work with more people. But take note, there are 3 categories of mentorship. 3 categories of mentorship. You can be in the first day category, the second day category, or the third day category. All right, the first day category, what it means is you've seen this business, you love to be part of it. simply get back to the person that shared this video with you to see how you can be part of the first day category mentorship. The second and the third day category mentorship is amazing. I mean, it's for those, for rising leaders, for sales leaders and emerging leaders. All right. But the category one, the first day category mentorship, is for those who are going to be mentored by the topmost leaders of this organization, people who are more experienced. All right. And these are people who also stand a chance to get an amazing offer, a special offer, all right, from the organization, all right, whereby you get extra product value, all right, you get an opportunity not only for extra product value, but also for a personalized tracking center. You're getting most of your facilities free of charge. Your tracking center, worth over 300,000, you get it free of charge. I don't know if this will still be available as at the time you're watching this video, but if as at the moment it is, but if it is still available, get back to the person who invited you or who shared this tool with you, all right, so that you can benefit from this if it is still available, okay? That is, if you are privileged to be among those in the first day category, then you can gain the inner cycle mentorship, possibly, or at least the elite mentorship from the top masterminds, all right? Even though it's supposed to cost over 200,000, but you could get it for free. You stand a chance for that, all right? So I encourage you, get back to the person that connected you, and you could get even if an unfair advantage whereby you can get the opportunity to what? To get people to be supported with some connections. But take note, before you are supported, you have to build some capacities to learn a little so that you can carry along the people that are what? That you're supported with, right? So in a nutshell, this is an offer worth over 620,500. This is for people who are privileged to be part of the top category mentorship. That's number one. And secondly, these are the people who stand a chance to even benefit more from the real estate because they're going to be specially guided and impacted so that they can what benefit even from the real estate. I can't guarantee that it's still available as at the time you're watching this video, but get back to the person that connected you and he will let you know what is possible. If you're privileged, you get in touch and then you get this amazing offer. I'll tell you super congratulations and big congratulations to you. All right, please take note of that. All right, the mastermind offer gives you an opportunity to run the next vacation destination for free of charge. This is a qualification people pay money to run, but you can be allowed to run it for free. Please take note, it's not an automatic qualification, but you could run it for free of charge. And if you qualify, amazing. If you don't qualify, you still have nothing to lose. All right. But you start the business with any of the packages. All right. If you've seen this and you love the vision behind what we saw and you love to be part of this, all right, quickly get back to the person that shared this video with you. All right. And of course, you simply make your payment to any of the accounts. He will guide you to the account to pay to. This is the company's account, the Zenith Bank or the Access Bank. Pay with your bank app. If you want to pay through USSD, then you can use the account, the USSD account, or any other USSD account within the organizations, permissible within the organization. So take note of this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a summary of our project. These are some of my amazing friends and mentors. All right. Take note, once you become a part of this, the next training you must attend is the quick starter guide. Remember, the key to getting success is getting started. The best time to start is right away. Don't procrastinate. And I encourage you, do not procrastinate. God bless you all. I remain my humble self, Dr. Umar Ahmed. I hope to see every single one of you that have caught this vision and would love to be part of this amazing privilege at the very top. God bless you all. Have an amazing day. Simply get back to the person who showed you this video so that he can guide you on how you can get started on this amazing project. God bless you all and have a productive day ahead. I remain my humble self, Dr. Umar Ahmed, and I hope to see you at the very top. Thank you very much.